CoCo Johnson, your Lady of Wellness. Join me as I address topics in all things wellness, from mental health, social disparities, and education, advocating for those who suffer in silence. Hi, I'm CoCo Johnson, your Lady of Wellness. Join me as I address topics in all things wellness, from mental health, social disparities, and education, advocating for those who suffer in silence. Brought to you today by Rosa Sharon All Naturals, changing lives one tablespoon at a time. Welcome. I am so excited to have my next guest today. She has been working with teens for many, many years in matters of social disparities and mental health, and just trying to get on their level. Welcome.
Thank you, Tonya Brown, mental health first aid instructor, founder and executive director of Leading Ladies Incorporated. Today we're here to talk about mental health in teen girls, warning signs, and as well as providing resources as well. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. So let's get right into it. Tell us a little bit about Miss LaTonya Brown. And how did you get on this journey of wanting to help teen girls in their everyday lives and transitioning?
Okay, so how I got started was I was once a teen girl who needed a mentor and had many mentors and did not realize that I had many mentors. So there were some times where I was either on the wrong path or on the right path, but didn't really know how to kind of recognize those individuals who were kind of speaking life into me and was actually part of my village. And so I wanted to be able to provide that for not only the youth but for their parents as well. So I not only want to be able to provide services and programming for the teen girls, but I also want to be able to provide that service for the mothers and families as well, so therefore they know that we are part of their village as well.
All right. So did you get into this, like, what inspired you? As far as, I know you mentioned that you didn't have certain people in your life, mentorship, but do you can remember back in the day or when you were younger, as far as what encouraged you, what made you say, later on in life, that this could be useful because I didn't have this, and if I provided this now, I can help people move forward?
Yeah, so just to be a little transparent, so I was one of them girls that's, had a little mouth that was cussing everybody out and fighting a whole lot, right? And so I had someone who actually talked to me. Like, she was just kind of like, she was just trying to get information, but she just really wanted, she was my mentor. She ended up being one of my mentors, but she was one individual who, like, we had a conversation, I cussed her out, she cussed me out, I cussed her out, she cussed me out. But one of the things that she said to me that resonated was like, every time I see you, I'm going to speak to you. And I was like, don't nobody care if you speak to me. I don't want you talking to me. But every time she seen me, like, she literally spoke to me. And so every time she seen me, it kind of broke me down just a little bit more because she would always speak. And so finally, I just got to the point from saying nothing to her to speaking to her. But then from there, once I was able to let her in, she was able to really start pouring into me. And it allowed for me to see, like, oh, everybody is not bad. Somebody is out there actually wanting to, find out how my day is going, figure out what it is that I'm doing. Where is my mental health at in those moments? And so from there, she, like I said, she became one of my mentors, but it became that important. So I think every girl, what brought that on is that every young lady needs a mentor. They need somebody besides the people in their family, the women in their family, to be able to say, hey, let me pour into you so that you know that this is what you can do and there's no limits to what you can do, but be able to provide those resources and create a safe space for them to be able to just say and be themselves, transparent, authentically and transparent without judgment.
Nice. So are you a native of Indianapolis?
I am not. I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois. Born and bred, Chicago, Illinois. I moved here 24 years ago.
Okay. And what made you decide to come to Indy?
So I used to visit Indy a lot, here and there. And so I used to live in Bloomington, Indiana. And so me and a few friends used to always come here for, like, Black Expo, Circuit City Classic, and just kind of come here and there. And one of my best friends actually moved here, and so I would come here and there for about a week or so for the summer. And so I just liked it. So I literally was I went to school, left school, and went back home to Bloomington for a minute. And I was like, woke up one day and was like, you know what, I'm moving to Indianapolis. And I literally moved to Indianapolis the next day.
All right.
I've been here ever since.
So one thing that you skipped, because Tonya and I have a little history. Tonya and I have a little history, well, a lot of history. But one thing you skipped, you're very educated.
Very.
So let's talk about that. Like,
Okay.
what do you specialize in? How did you get there? Why did you do it?
Oh Lord. Okay. So, oh Jesus. I have an associate's in criminal justice. I have a bachelor's in human services because, of course, I work with teens, I work with youth, but I also work with people. And so we know people be peopling, right? So
Exactly.
we need a little sometimes. And I'm currently in school right now for my master's in addictions counseling as well as mental health because those two mean dear to me. I'm a child of an addict, so the addictions piece means a lot to me, and I'm currently working in the field of addictions, and I love it. I work with not only the patients, but I also work with their family members as well, so it's a near dear thing to me. Mental health is also important because I feel like everyone suffers from some form of mental health. We all have dealt with something, and we're all healing from something, and so being able to really recognize those different warning signs for different mental health and how to address mental health and how to, have those conversations where it becomes safe but not so much of a stigma as to we don't talk about this. If you think I'm over here doing this, then you just think I'm over here doing this. We don't talk about none of the other stuff. And so for me, everything that's in the house comes out the house. It don't stay in the house. So yeah, and I'm also a mental health first aid instructor because I want to be able to train as many individuals as possible who want the training in mental health first aid. So therefore, they are able to, as adults, recognize the signs and also be able to help and advise and assist that young person in getting the help that they need.
So would you say that like part of your like adolescence and your childhood contributed to you being such a advocate, as you being wanting to help others and to being their best selves?
Yes. Absolutely, 100%. I had many people, like I said before, I had many people who were mentors, and I didn't recognize that they were mentors at the time, but they were women who were that just continued to pour into me. Even throughout high school, when I was homeless and I was like here and there, moving from pillar to post, there were women who, my friends' mothers, would just literally pour into me without even me recognizing that they poured into me.
Wait. You said that you were what?
I was homeless throughout high school.
Really? Wow. So that's traumatizing in itself.
Absolutely.
So you were out there fending for yourself and just trying to survive. Yeah, because your story is really one to be reckoned with as far as the survival mode. So could you give us just a tinge back about your surviving in high school, trying to understand, navigate, because there are plenty of teens out here that are doing the same thing and think they are the first ones to have ever lived it, but sometimes we got to let other people know that we've been through it, and now here's our testimony, if you will, that you can make it if you do this.
Yeah, so one, let me just say to any youth out there, you are not alone. By no means necessary are you alone. Number two, as I say that you're not alone, I want to also say that tap into the people who are pouring into you. When I was homeless and living pillar to post, I stayed with different friends here and there, and as I stayed with them, their parents never, not once, was like, "Why are you here? Why are you here?" It was like, "Come on, go in there, go to sleep, get up, go to school, do what you need to do." So like, I never skipped a beat in high school. I still graduated. I still did everything I needed to do, and I worked. I worked 2 jobs as well as went to high school, and graduated. And so those women poured into me, even though they did not pour in, even though they weren't like, "This is who I am to you, and I'm going to pour into you." Those women, I was actually able to observe them. I was actually able to talk to them. They created that safe space for me. They created that shelter for me. They created just a lot of those different things. And so for any youth that are out here, any teen girls or youth, period, that are out here and you feel like you are alone, you are not alone. But be able to tap into those people who really mean something, those individuals who are taking you in, those healthy individuals, not unhealthy individuals, but those individuals who are taking you in, those individuals who want to see you succeed, those individuals who are encouraging you to go to school, the ones who are encouraging you to work, encouraging you to be your best self. Lean into those individuals because those individuals are your mentors. They are your resource.
Awesome. That's great advice because so many of us, like our age group and beyond, the village raised us.
Yes,
The
absolutely.
village was,
The
it
village.
wasn't questioning the village. If you did wrong in the community,
Mm-hmm.
the village brought you back in. You might
Yes.
even got a licking or a spanking by
Mm-hmm.
the village, and then got sent home. And most times, and they said you got in trouble again. But
Right.
it
Mm-hmm.
helped develop and shape us.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So it sounds like you had a good direction and following as far as with a village that you didn't even know that you recognized
Yes.
immediately that
Mm-hmm.
you had.
But also have to be able to receive it.
Right.
And I think oftentimes that becomes the issue is because it's like, I don't believe that I can have this, or I don't believe somebody would think something different of me than what my immediate family. But you have that. When you have that, whether it's a teacher, whether it's a counselor, whether it's a therapist, whether it is a community center worker, whomever it may be, we all have those, and youth have those as well. So,
So when do you think that about what age do you start recognizing the power that you had and have? When did you recognize and start believing in yourself? When was that inkling of a thought starting to occur in your mind?
well, I will say I knew that I deserved something different. Probably around middle schoolish, something to that nature. But I would say it took for me to become an adult to really tap into my hurt, my pain, that trauma, and really understand mental health aspect of it. And so understanding that mental health aspect of it, it allowed for me to dig deeper into the whys, but then the hows, but then how do I move forward? How do I get better? How do I make sure that my mental is good so that I can move forward in life, that I can be who I know inside that I am, that I can be. So early on, early on.
So let's talk about leading ladies.
Yes.
So that's your baby, even though I know you got real babies, but
Yeah.
let's talk about you've been doing this for what, 2 decades?
Yeah, 18 years.
18 years pouring into teen girls. What age?
12 to 17.
12 to 17. And you've been a powerhouse. So when I say powerhouse, your program has been different by any means possible because you dig deep and dirty. You don't sugarcoat things. You don't allow certain behaviors. You address those behaviors. I've seen you at work, so you address those behaviors. And then I noticed, even a while back, when I had a girls program, you were mentoring those girls, and some of them were out of line, and you brought them in turns, but you wrapped it in honey, though, as they say. She wrapped it in honey to where they were able to, like she said, break down the barriers. The hello, how you doing? Hello, how you doing? And that helped. And so with your girls today, because this is a different generation. Let's talk about that. It's a different generation. So what is different from when you started to now?
Technology.
Okay.
Technology. I would definitely say technology. Social media is definitely a huge factor in everything. But I definitely feel like it's the same girls. Like it's, not putting, all girls are going to come, each group is going to come in a little different. But I feel like with these group of girls, everybody needs that somebody who's going to, one, create that safe space for them, two, have that authentic connection with them, and three, be able to really pour into them and support them the way that they need to be supported. And so that's something social media can't do. So being able to constantly make sure that we are, and for them to know, like, hey, if you need something, call on us. But let's get really deep. I mean, like you said, we get deep. We
get
deep.
Give us some topics. Give us some topics.
We talk about trauma. We talk about breaking generational curses. We talk about sex trafficking. We talk about mental health at its finest. We actually train our girls in youth mental health first aid. So not only can they recognize the signs within themselves, but they also recognize it with other individuals and their family members as well. We talk about healthy relationships, healthy versus unhealthy relationships. We talk a lot about literally everything, but we have some fun topics too. We get a little goofy. It's not all serious, but we definitely talk about attitudes. We just have a variety, a range of different things, but we also expose our girls to a lot. So we take them out of their community, so therefore they know that nothing is within, nothing is without of their reach. Everything is within their reach. All they have to do is reach forward and go.
And you also do college tours.
We do behind the business tours, college tours. Ooh, we do everything.
Talk about this prom dress.
Yes, so we currently have a prom dress and tux drive.
Oh, nice.
And we include the boys. This is our 5th annual prom and tux drive. And so we take donations from gently used prom wear, shoes, accessories, and then we actually ask the men to donate their items as well, ties, suits, shoes, different things of that nature for the boys as well. And so we have one day where all the kids will register. They'll come and we have different volunteers and we set them up for being able to just try on the different dresses. Everything is free. It's no cost to them. We just want to make sure that those who want to go to prom and not necessarily can afford prom, that we are able to make sure we give them that experience. So.
Awesome. So I want you to hold this thought because we're going to go check in with our sponsors. But I want you to think about, like, the girls that you work with, their mental states.
Ooh.
They're coming from different angles, I know. We want to thank our sponsors, Rosa Sharon All Naturals, where they're changing lives one tablespoon at a time. And this is their gel. The gel is very amazing. It's fruity, and it helps give you energy and provide all those minerals that your body needs daily. Thank you, Rosa Sharon. All right, so let's get to it. When we are talking about girls, because we could talk about boys, but we're going to focus in on the girls. So these girls are coming from different angles, different walks of life, different family backgrounds, all this, just like as we all do. What do you see most common as far as the breakdowns in your groups, as far as with this particular, like you have a group currently, right? Yep. So what has been one of the hot topics?
Anxiety and depression. Anxiety and depression has been a huge hot topic because you have, right now, we live in a world where I'm depressed. I missed school today, I'm depressed. This didn't happen to me today, I'm depressed. And really, we live in a society right now where everything is depression and anxiety without fully understanding what anxiety and what depression actually means. And so that has been like a huge thing with our young ladies. And of course, they're dealing with a lot of different things as well. In addition to anxiety and depression, you have social media that is kind of influencing as well as encouraging a lot of that anxiety and depression. And so with that, it's just allowing for us to really just kind of step back and really help them going into the mental health piece and really understanding, like, what are those things that you're intaking? Those things that you're looking at on social media, what are those things that you're looking at on social media? If you are looking at things that are, you looking at somebody fighting all day, or you looking at somebody being ratchet or something all day, guess what? You, in your mind, you are intaking those things, and to you, you're going to be like, oh, I need to do, this is acceptable. This is good. Yeah. All those different things. And so social media has a huge impact.
The click likes.
And the click likes. If I don't have enough likes, then I'm depressed. I'm going to post a picture, and I need to be able to post pictures. And so one of the things that we're working with our young ladies on is understanding healthy versus unhealthy social media messages. Because social media has a lot to do with their mental health. Not only social media, but, school, family, home life. So what is going on in your home, that is making you uncomfortable? What is going on in your home that's making you happy? What are those things that are making you, whatever those feelings are, what are those things? And so, again, whether it's home, school, their community, social media, anything.
So are these like rap sessions, or are there activities that help them? Because sometimes we got to show them versus tell them. And are there activities involved that show them that, hey, we're not harping and talking all the time, that because they tune out at some point. So
I'm a little rough around the edges sometimes. so we everybody got a cell phone.
Right.
Pull your cell phones out. Let's go to your social medias. Let us see what you're doing on social media, but let's talk about those things that you're doing on social media. And so not only are we just talking about it, it's a difference from talking about it and they're like, oh yeah, she don't know what she's talking about, she just talking, opposed to, no, let me see your phone. Like, pull up your social media, because we all know everybody got social media accounts on different apps, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, all that. So no, let's pull it up. Let's see what you posting, and then having that conversation, those real conversations as to what are you promoting, what are you saying, what are you intaking as well. So it becomes all of those different things, because when you talk about mental health, those things that's mental, right? And so we want to be able to, let's talk about those things. When you see this person didn't like your post or something, or you only got 5 likes after you done posted this picture, what are you feeling in that moment? What are you, what's going on in your mind that you feel like, oh, well, I'm not good enough.
Right.
I didn't get 1,000 likes, so I'm no good.
So let's talk about, because we grew up in it, everybody has, teen dating. I don't know what that looks like anymore, but maybe you can give us some insights as to what the girls are kind of wrapping their heads around when it, because what I'm finding, what I'm seeing now, even with the prom situation, most of them, like, it was like devastating if we went to the prom either by ourselves or without a date. Most of them are doing groups or they going by themselves. So I just find that interesting. I think that's so much empowerment, but at the same time, I question it because it's like a thing. So can you describe some of those?
Oh, Lord. Okay, that's a whole deep dive conversation. Let me see. I think for that, I think it could be a good thing and it could be a bad thing. So if you have girls who are like, girls who are like, hey, I'm going as a group, I'm going with my group of friends, and this is what this is, that's cool. If you are like, hey, you know what, I don't need nobody to go by myself, I feel like that's empowering as well for you to say, okay, hey, I'm just going, I'm going. But if you're going and your intent is negative, meaning if you just want to start a mess or you have ill will when you're going, that's a problem. Because not only, everything that we do have a consequence, whether it's a good consequence or a bad consequence, everything that we do has a consequence. So I think that allowing for them to feel free enough to be able to say, hey, I can go by myself, I'm cool. Let me do this, I can go by myself. But I also feel like we overhype prom for youth. And so by us overhyping prom for youth, it's like, no, you got to go out here as if you get married, and we got to dress you from head to toe. You got to be, you got to literally have it all, which causes anxiety, because now it becomes that, oh my goodness, I couldn't afford this, or I didn't get this, so because I didn't get this, I'm no good. I can't do this, or now I'm depressed because my mom or my daddy can't afford this.
Right. So I want to talk about, I'm going to switch gears a little bit. Same thing, but I noticed that the talk has been about, what is it called? When the kids are exchanging pictures.
Oh, sextortion.
Yes. And they're holding them for hostage when they break up, or they want to humiliate them. Is that a huge thing, or is that just okay?
It's a huge thing right now, especially with youth, because like one of the things that we have a conversation with our girls about is, if you be careful as to what you send somebody, because if you send in a picture, that picture remains in their phone. You don't know who that person is sending that information to. It's just there. It's out there. Whether that person is saying, you know what, I ain't sending it to nobody. I'm, this is just this. I'm good. Like, no, that you let them get mad at you. Everybody in America go have their photo. But you also have to be careful, because it doesn't even have to be. Oftentimes people look at it as it has to be a young lady and she got to have some skimpy on or something to that nature, or showing something. It could just be regular clothes, but maybe you sticking your tongue out or whatever else, and they'll automatically assume that, okay, now you're making a sexual gesture oh, but I know you really ain't supposed to have your phone. So, I need for you to send me this, or I need for you to do this in order for me not to tell your family. And depending on the family members and depending on the household, that's a huge trigger for a lot of young ladies. You have people who have taken their life because somebody has taken a picture of them and blasted around social media. And now it's like, oh, I need to take my life because I'd rather take me opposed to just going to my family members because my family members are going to scorn me. So instead of me saying, okay, you know what, I did this, I didn't mean to, I didn't know, and allow for that parent or that adult or that guardian to say, you know what, we go handle this, it's cool. You did it, that's okay. But this is how we're going to move forward.
So are parents really involved in your program and household?
They are. So we have a huge family, parental involvement. We do that purposefully because we want them to not only know who's working with their daughters, but we want them to know that we're there for them too. So it's not just your daughter getting that village, it's the parents getting that village too, whether they're male or female.
Nice. And so you brought up something very interesting. I know we are not, it's going to be a heavy topic, but you talked about suicide, and the suicide rate is crazy.
It is, very much so.
Hopefully none of your girls have experienced this or anything like that, but at the same time, that's a whole nother deep dive subject. But I just want to address it real quick. What are you seeing as far as the suicide that's heavily increasing, even within our direct community?
Ooh, I would say it's the thought. It's the thought, and that's what it starts with. It starts with that thought, and then it moves to action. It moves to planning, and then it moves to that action. And we want to be able to stop it from even moving to that next phase, which is that we don't even want it to be that thought process. So my biggest thing is for young ladies, if there is something that is bothering you, if there's something that you want to talk about, there are several hotlines, there are several resources, there are several people within the communities that can really assist you in doing and getting the resources and having somebody to talk to. Reach out to a trusted adult, let them know, like, hey, I'm not feeling so well, I'm just kind of, these things are bothering me, I don't know how to necessarily feel, and allow for somebody to help you to process those things, and being able to recognize those adults who are healthy, which means that they are going to assist you and get you the help that you need, opposed to unhealthy adults that'll be like, girl, ain't nothing wrong with you. But being able to really deep dive, but know that you matter, and know that you are enough, and know that you deserve to be here, because whatever it is that you have going on, that will surpass. And I promise you, the other side of just being healthy and mentally is amazing, and it is phenomenal. And you'll look back and be like, I can't believe I even thought about that thing. No, we want you here. You deserve to be here.
Now, before we close, there's a couple things I want to touch on. Do you have any tips for the parents that may have a teen girl that they think they should be in a program like yours, but the teen doesn't want to go? Or do you have any resources to provide parents that are in that situation but need help but don't know how to get the help?
So this is going to sound kind of harsh. Be a parent. It is your responsibility as a parent to know exactly what it is that you have to be able to see the future for your child, even when they can't see it in that present moment. I'm a single parent of two, and both of my kids have been in millions of programs, not just my organization, but also other organizations. And I make sure that they show up and they're present and they're there, even the times where they didn't want to be there. You have to make them go. And they may have an attitude when they first walk through the door, and that's okay. But allow for them to still get fed, because I guarantee you, the tools and the skills that they would get from those different programs will allow for them to have that future of being healthy adult individuals as opposed to hurt individuals.
Last thing, let's talk about this book, Miss Author. Yay. You are an author. You've already created a book. What was the name of that book?
Courageous Love.
All right, and what was that about?
It is a self-help workbook for families who have a loved one in addiction recovery and beyond.
All right, and what's the new one?
It is called High School Realities. It is a workbook for young ladies. It is a girl's guide on their transition from middle school to high school. So it's involving everything, including mental health.
And how can someone get in contact with you to get these resources?
Yeah, so again, Tonya Brown, you can contact us at leadingladiesindy.org. If you don't want to go to the website, you can feel free to email me at info@leadingladiesindy.org. or you can give us a call at 317-723-2117.
All right. So before we go, Miss Author, she just does so much in the community. It's crazy. I would like to thank you for coming on our show. I thank you for joining us today, and I look forward to our next conversation. And hopefully, we can pull her back in on our next show to talk more in depth about this suicide rate that keeps increasing with our teens. But I thank you for joining us today. Again, thank you to our sponsors, Rosa Sharon All Naturals. Changing lives one tablespoon at a time. Thank you, and see you next time.